a strong second half for the Lions, and they will host a semifinal game against Chattanooga Christian next week.
It's interesting with CPA too, because their team in terms of record, not even what it was last year, 6-5 during the regular season, 3-2 in the district, but just an example of getting hot at the right time and getting things clicking.
We've seen them play a competitive half or so with this Lipscomb Academy team. They came out to that early lead in that game, and it was kind of odd, as you said. This is not the same CPA team that has given Lipscomb some fits in the previous years, but they pulled out to that big early lead. People were kind of like, wait, what's going on over here? I mentioned Trent Dover, this coaching staff, not too worried, and they did prevail, putting up, I believe it was like 31 unanswered points in that game. And this pass is thrown, caught. Was he in bounds? He was. My goodness, what a connection right there. Jake Grantham, the senior wide receiver, pulling down a pass from his quarterback. It is Chase Walker back in the game at QB for the Seahawks. And right there, once again, on the move, threading the needle. Nice pass.
Yeah, tight bust pass too. And obviously this team going to miss Brett Rogers next year, but man, you have to be excited about what a guy like Walker is showing you the way he's playing.
Walker getting pretty fired up right there. He hands the ball off to Cannon Rogers. Cannon Rogers, I'm going to say what I'm about to say, an 8th grader. Cannon Rogers, an 8th grader, picked up that first down on the ground. That is talk about a guy trying to be the future of your team, getting him involved, and they went right back to him right there. First down to Rogers.
And that just shows you the amount of potential and talent that a guy like that has, because it's rare that you see freshmen hit a varsity roster, but an 8th grader, that is a different level of skill that it takes to not just play, but to crack the roster as well on a really talented Silverdale team. Like we said, 2 years in a row they made the playoffs, 8-3 record this year. This was the number 5 team in Chattanooga and one of the better teams in the state. For him to be on the roster and to get some playing time, really, really cool to see. Good on him to get some plays.
Second down and 10 from the Lipscomb Academy 25. Just 5 minutes and 20 seconds or so now remaining in this game, but Silverdale seeing if they can't add another score and get a little bit of a positive end to their season here. Rogers comes back in at quarterback, hands off to his 8th grade running back, his Cannon Rogers. Might have to do a little digging here. I want to know if there's any relation between Brett Rogers and Cannon Rogers. Name spelled the same way. No D in the last name.
You gotta wonder.
That would be an interesting one.
That's a good detective work there, my friend. You had to dig a little bit.
I might have to go and sleuth this one out after the game is over, because I'm curious now. That would be quite something for Brett Rogers to be ending his high school career here to his brother as he connects to his brother. I'm going to assume it's his brother. Let's just roll with that narrative.
Look at the sideline of Silverdale Academy. There's only 3 or 4 players that are not huddled up looking at these two connect, and I think they're going to try to keep feeding them. They want their quarterback, Brett Rogers, to end his high school career with a touchdown to his little brother.
Brett Rogers hands off. Cannon Rogers up the middle, into the end zone. Touchdown, Silverdale. And a standing ovation from the Silverdale fans, the players all huddled up. Regardless of if there's any relation between these two, that's a cool way to end the season potentially on your last offensive possession. An 8th grade running back punching it in, a touchdown drive for Brett Rogers coming out and leading his team down the field.
Just a great moment there, too, for a guy like Brett Rogers. Obviously, his career not going to end in the way that he ideally would have wanted it to, but for him to have played the way that he did this season to potentially cap off his high school career with a touchdown, a handoff touchdown to his little brother, very, very cool and unique to see, because that's not something you typically get to see often. 2 brothers, not just on the same team, because the Spillman brothers are on the same team with Lipscomb Academy, but offense and defense. This is a quarterback, big brother handing it off to potentially his little brother running back. That's so
I did just get confirmation from the Silverdale staff that is 2 brothers out there, Brett Rogers and Cannon Rogers. So it is the brother connection coming through. A cool way to end the season for Silverdale.
Detective Sam on the case. I gotta give you some
told
credit